One of the images that I'm excited to share with you today is actually from my wedding case this year at Imaging USA. And this particular print's title is called Ascending. And it was photographed at a wedding that I photographed this year in Ireland at the Cliffs of Moher. The bride and groom got ready at Dromelin Castle, which is where this beautiful staircase lies. When I originally arrived in Ireland and we scouted the castle, this staircase in the lobby immediately caught my eye, and I knew we were going to do a portrait here. On the day, I saw Ashley's incredible dress, and I just had this vision of her walking up the staircase and almost like ascending to heaven. One of the elements that I would say that really strikes me about this particular staircase is the leading lines that it has, and it brings them not only into the bride, or the subject rather, but also keeps the subject on a third, which is a secondary strong point in the image. That combined by the light that wraps around and illuminates, it just gave the feel and the mood that I was really going for. So I intentionally chose not to bring in a strobe here to keep that natural detail in the dress. I was really happy that this was able to be created without bringing in any exterior lights and using what was naturally there. The type of gear that we bring to a wedding is extensive. One of the most important tools is obviously your camera. So the body of my camera is a Sony Alpha 1, and the lens that I used in this particular location was the 14mm prime. It's a 1.8 prime lens, which is one of the sharpest primes for a wide angle that I've come across. And what it was able to do was to create this image, which originally was captured horizontally, but tack sharp without distortion. So I'm very happy with the image quality of this particular photo, and I couldn't have done it without my gear. So contrary to popular belief, a photographer's job is not over when he clicks the button or when his vision of an image is created. It really begins after, and how you handle the post-production, the cropping, and the finishing. When I came across this particular photo, it was actually a horizontal image that I had photographed for the album. And it wasn't until I cropped it vertical that I just fell in love. And converting it to black and white just had so much more impact, so much more mood, and really the leading lines became even more evident. So yes, it's partly in the vision of executing the photograph, but also being able to see how you want an image to be finished and to look at the end. I'm excited to say that this image was actually accepted into the Imaging Excellence Collection, which is the highest echelon that an image can be awarded. And I'm proud to say that it was accepted unanimously by all the judges. So the next image that I'm excited to show you is the print To Kiss an Angel. Now, this was a destination wedding that I photographed in New York at the One World Center. And if you've ever been there, there's thousands of people beyond the corridor that are down below. However, I chose this particular location and style of photographing here was by getting low and using the veil to kind of lead into the couple. I kept the leading lines from the veil to have that composition and shot super wide with a 14mm. And I was able to eliminate all of the people from below by getting low and changing my perspective. So the gear that I used in this particular image is the ProPhoto A1 to illuminate the bride and groom. That separated them from the background and gave me the ability to pick up detail within the veil. The available light in this location is not great, so I needed to bring in an exterior strobe for this particular photo. So again, editing being a large part of the process here. After looking at this image and seeing the detail and the architecture, it was stunning. However, the more I looked at the photograph, I thought it would make a really beautiful photo if I could create this vision of almost being in a cloud. So in post-production, not only did we process it a little higher key and handle some HDR, but then began to paint over all of the architecture, where no matter what, you still see it, but your focus becomes the bride and groom, and your eyes are all just drawn into the subject. And to finish it off with a bow, we titled it To Kiss an Angel, because after I've finished painting and getting this done, it kind of reminded me of that she looked like an angel. And that's where the title came from, and the presentation worked. And I'm really excited to say that this image was accepted into the highest echelon of Imaging Excellence this year at Nationals, and went unanimously, as did my other wedding image. I would say competition changes the way that we photograph, because it creates us to never become satisfied. So, we are constantly striving to create an image that's better than the image that we photographed last week, or photograph a wedding that's better than the wedding. So I truly do feel that this weekend's wedding is going to be the best wedding that I've ever photographed. And I think competition has changed the way that we look at that. Instead of it just being a job, it's a passion, and it's exciting, and we look forward to creating, and that's really what drives us. And our internal competition, I'm excited to share with my brothers and our team what we created every single weekend. We text each other, and that's what pushes us to continually be the best that we can be.